Good evening, everyone, and welcome to day 5 of the AI Summit. I am Aditi, and it's wonderful to have you back all with us. For those joining us today for the first time, our speaker, Mr. Willibert George, is an innovative school leader who built tech-enabled student-driven system in affordable schools near Mumbai and is widely recognized for his contributions to educational innovation. So before we begin, a quick reminder of our session norms. Please keep your microphones muted throughout the session. Share your reflections and question in the chat box. Stay until the end for key takeaways and announcements. So today's theme is teaching with visual impact. In this session, we will explore how AI can enhance visual learning by helping educators create engaging images, diagrams, and presentation that makes concept clearer and more memorable for students. So this stage is yours, sir. And sir, over to you.
Thank you, everybody. Absolutely thrilled to be here today. And this is our 5th session. And we are going to be looking at how you can use visuals to be teaching inside your class. So that is something that I think that uh, you need to understand that when it comes to being a very effective teacher, one of the things that you need to do is to be able to hold people's attention, right? You want to grab attention of your children, and you then want to be able to give them an experience that allows them to remember, to understand, to be able to picturize. You see, a lot of people say that most people are visual. Okay, it's not all, but most people are visual, which means they say that vision trumps all the senses, and what we see and experience, there's a higher chances that we might be able to remember. Of course, there are other ways of studying, right? The whole idea of VAKOG, VAKOG, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. So um, the way kids learn also is so all these modalities get activated. And the more modalities that you're able to activate, the more chances of learning becoming more permanent, more sticky, and more impactful. So that is something that we need to think about. So as a teacher, you want to be able to come up with a lot of things. You want to be able to come up with presentations, with pictures, all kinds of these things, right? So today we are going to have a lot of fun because I'm going to be showing you certain ways that you can start doing pictures. Yeah, that's gonna hopefully make you more interesting and make you more effective as a teacher. So let me quickly go back and pull up my screen and show you ChatGPT. And now what you can see on my screen is my ChatGPT. Okay. And really now you have to start thinking about what do you want to create. So if you're a teacher, you obviously have a class filled with kids. And so you want to be able to teach them, correct? So let's assume that you want to teach them one particular topic. So I don't know if you remember, but we had downloaded a particular textbook. So I'm going to add that. And I think we downloaded the science textbook, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that is what I think we had downloaded. If under CBSE, NCRT, yeah, there you go. So what I have now done is I've literally uploaded my science textbook to ChatGPT. Okay. And now we're going to be prompting. And so much of my prompting has to be around how I want to teach. So that's what I want to show you right now. So the first thing I'm saying, you are an expert in science teaching and science topics from grade 8 to grade 12. Okay. You are an expert in CBSE content and also what CBSE wants kids to be mastering in grade 9 science stream. You are an expert at making children think and also making lessons that are, diverse and allow and cater to discussion and inquiry. You are an expert at the Cambridge system of education and teaching learning. You are an expert at using time very well. You are able to teach what matters the most in a 40-minute class. You are able to, in a 40-minute class, have a fantastic discussion as well as keep space for children to think and ask questions and formulate their own answers. Okay? You are an expert at asking leading questions that allow kids to think and to develop their own ideas. You are an expert at constructivism. Okay. You understand the misconceptions that this age of kids in CBSE schools in India generally have, and also the way the textbook is written and designed also creates misconceptions. You are an expert at taking these misconceptions and converting them into knowledge and correcting it conceptually. Go through the attached textbook. Go through the attached textbook. Okay, go through the attached textbook and go to the attached textbook and pick up chapter 1 only. Then pick up the most important aspect of chapter 1. Oh, actually, this is only chapter 1, right? Pick up topic 1 and then bring it to the forefront. Create, okay, a 40-minute lesson plan for me that encapsulates the above. All right, so this is what I've done. I have uploaded chapter 1 textbook, literally, like just uploaded the textbook, okay? And then got them to, to be an expert at all these things. And I've asked the GPT to go and find what is like the most important aspects of this particular class. And it's saying, well, the first topic in this is the physical nature of matter. Like that's like the most important topic in this chapter one. And it includes the idea that matter is made up of particles and that these particles are extremely small and they have space between them and they're continuously moving and attract one another. So the textbook introduces us to activities 1.1 to 1.8 before moving into states of matter. Okay. So why this is the right first lesson and common misconceptions about this lesson. Okay. So if there's a good teacher would ensure that these misconceptions are not going to be like, like just left lurking like that in the classroom. So many grade 9 students in CBSE schools tend to think that matters continues like one solid block. Okay. Dissolved salt disappears or melts away. Particles are tiny but not really moving, and smell travels because air carries it, but not because particles diffuse. And particles in solids do not move at all, and attraction between particles is the same in all substances. So these are like common misconceptions that kids have, especially when they are studying this particular topic. So, um, you know, I also asked it to be like an expert at what CBSE and NCRT is asking us to do, right? So it said the NCRT activities directly challenge these ideas through salt in water, repeated dilution, smell of incense, diffusion in hot and cold water, and the water surface activity, right? So here's your 40-minute lesson plan. Chapter, topic, duration, learning intention, success criteria, the lesson flow. There's a hook and there's a thinking start. Right on the board, right? When salt dissolves in water, where does it go? Okay. And then does it vanish? Does it, all that. Then the teacher move. Okay. So it's beautifully telling the teacher, like, don't confirm the answer yet, just try and get them to think, because inquiry is a process, right? We need to let them live with the question before they get an answer very quickly. So that really goes a long way in holding their attention so that kids are in a position to be able to, um, uh, you know, to learn and understand better. So prior knowledge activation. Okay, it's very important to be able to slowly warm up kids to the idea and slowly get kids to the topic so that we can get them into this whole idea of exploration and getting them to explore deeper. And that is something that is very important. So many teachers don't know how to do that. So here is one way that you can do it. So you could ask fast oral questions like, is air matter, or is smell matter, or is love matter? Oh my God. Is perfume smell matter? Why? And let them defend their answers, because when kids start defending their positions or defending their answers, that's when we know that they have some solid reason, or maybe they don't have a reason. It is very easy for children to answer because they just need to take a guess, and then they have to look at your face, and then they have to face read you to know whether they are saying the right thing or whether they're not saying the right thing, right? So what you want to do is you want to get kids to be able to defend their position or defend their answer. Now, the next thing is, the teacher note, expected understanding, main inquiry activity. So salt in the water is a main inquiry activity. And here are leading questions in order to get kids to slowly start thinking towards the answer. The concept that we need to land at this particular activity is matter is made up of particles and there is space between the particles. Bus. That is the main concept that we need to land straight away into this. Okay. So strong teacher line. Salt did not die. It only spread. Okay. And then tiny particles idea and broad note and movement of particles through daily life and key concept, and it's all here, right? We got a very beautiful thing. Now that I've generated my lesson plan, now that I know exactly like what's actually happening, or I know exactly what is uh, what I'm going to teach in the class. Now it's the time for me as a teacher to be able to think about what are the visual teaching aids that I could use. Okay, so I can just go and ask ChatGPT that. If you are, you are an expert, at visual teaching strategies. Okay, what visual tools can I use to teach this? Okay, so I'm actually asking it, you tell me what are the visual tools that I need? Okay, because you are actually an expert at visual thinking routines, or visual thinking tools, or anything like that. So it's actually saying for this topic, teach it like building an invisible world that kids or students can finally see. Okay. So the best visual tools to use would be particle dot diagram. Draw matter as dots, not as blocks. Okay. That's pretty cool. Um, Before and after break, Beaker sketches. So before stirring, after stirring, how it works, color gradient script, diffusion time lapse sequence. Okay. Smell travel across. Okay, how does smell travel across? Concept wall or anchor charts, misconception versus reality charts. Okay, this is pretty interesting actually. Make a T-chart on the board. All right. Okay, so now it's actually given all these recommendations. Now I'm going to do something absolutely crazy. I'm going to say, give me a T-chart prompt, T-chart making prompt that I can use in Nano Banana to make this chart. Look what I've done. I've actually asked ChatGPT to make a Nano Banana prompt to make that chart. All right. And it's now making that chart prompt for me. All right. And really, once you get that, you don't need any more training ever again, because now you've learned to actually, just do it. So I'm now going to copy this and I'm going to Google AI Studio. And inside Google AI Studio, I'm going to Nano Banana. So I've gone to aistudio.google.com, and let's see if Nano Banana is here. I don't see. Okay. Explore Nano Banana. Okay. So I'm going to Nano Banana and I'm going to paste this prompt. Okay. I think it's not working. Let me check if there is another way to get Nano Banana, maybe in Gemini. So I've now gone to Gemini, which is gemini.google.com, and I've gone to create images. And then I have put the prompt, I copy pasted the prompt that I actually got that I got from ChatGPT. Okay. So let's see, because what ChatGPT told us was, if we can create all these different visual tools and go into the classroom, then maybe it'll help kids. Okay. So I said, wow, that's such a cool idea. Would you be in a position to like give me the prompt that I have to use for me to actually create this image? And immediately it gave me the prompt. And what I then did is I have, just put that prompt over here, and I'm just going to open it up for you. Yep, there you go. I just put that prompt into Gemini, and as soon as I put that prompt into Gemini, I'm using Nano Banana, I got this chart, which I can now, if your school has an A3 printer or something, you're actually able to print this and you're able to go into your classroom. So no more wondering, is there a chart in my library? Is there a chart in my as a teaching learning aid? I am able to immediately like make um make a chart, which is absolutely beautiful. So yeah, let me just send you this particular chart to our chat room. Let me see, where are we? Here. Okay. So I'm putting this image here so that you can see the image in our WhatsApp group as well. And you will be able to see how cool it is and how fast you're able to do so many things, right? So now I can go back to ChatGPT, and I can go back to ChatGPT and say, now, okay, uh, let me see. Wait, hang on. Let me see if there's a photo of myself that I can use. That would be just fun if I can do that. Let me see. And let me just give me a second, guys. I just want to see if there is any image of me that I have readily available that I can use. And I want to see if I'm able to do something with it. Let me check. Okay, I go to Google Photos, and I'm gonna pick up an image of me, and I will then try and use that image. So surprising that there are hardly any images of me, which is okay. Okay, I found an image of me. Okay, I found an image of me, and it's a crazy image. So I am going to pull it up and I'm going to download it. Okay, and I'm going back to my ChatGPT, and I'm going to upload my image. Okay, so I'm not going to upload my image right now. I'm going to say, now give me a prompt that to make an image with the model. Okay, ref pic attached, showing matter and how particles are, you know, are spaced out, you know. Okay. Do not change the features of the model. Okay. So I'm now asking it to give me a prompt to make an image with the model. So I'm just using myself as a model. Let me actually see if that is going to work. Okay. We don't know if it's going to work, but as teachers, we should always be trying. We should always be trying to make our classrooms and our teaching learning more grounded in pedagogy. And we should try to be, always innovative and creative and things like that. So let us see. So this is this huge prompt that it's making. Let me see if it actually manages to make something that will look cool. And I've copied that, and we bring it into Nano Banana now. I've copy pasted it, and I'm going to upload a photograph of myself, and I'm going to see if that's going to happen. Okay. So the prompt says, use the attached reference image of a model as the identity lock. Do not change the model's face, skin tone, hairstyle, body type, age, appearance, or any defining facial features. Preserve exact likeness and facial identity from the reference image. Only change the pose, hand positioning, expression if needed slightly for teaching clarity, while keeping the same person fully recognizable. So imagine if I go to the classroom with a picture of myself as a teacher trying to teach them something. I mean, that would be like very hooky and very like attention grabbing. Scene and purpose. Create an educational science visual for grade 9 showing the concept of matter and particle spacing. The model should be presented as a science explainer or teacher-like figure, visually helping students understand that matter is made up of particles and that particles can be slightly tightly packed or spread out. The image should feel like a modern classroom science poster or a textbook quality concept visual. And the composition, it's got to be medium shot, three-quarter shot. So really, like, unless you understand photography or you have a very strong visual idea of what you want, you're not going to be able to write this, right? So you're then using the ChatGPT to actually write something like that, and there you go. It definitely looks like me, but definitely a lot more weight than I have. But then I love it. So imagine I walk into the class today and I'm in a position to show this particular image, and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's solid, that's liquid, that's gas, and this, solids are tightly packed, and liquids have a little more space, and gas is like more spread out, and that's why you're able to smell things because the air carries the particles away. All these things is like really, really amazing. Imagine as a teacher how much of you can bring into all this, and kids would like absolutely love it, right? They'd be like, wow. And you're not at the mercy of another designer. You can now start creating visuals that are really impactful and visuals that communicate what you want your kids to be able to see, learn, and do, right? Um, Imagine the power that you have, right? You don't have to depend now on other people, and things can happen really, really fast. Okay. So let me go back to ChatGPT and say, great. I now want a prompt for ideogram. Ideogram. This, uh, this needs to help build a social media, a social media post for me showing or announcing that my class, that is grade 9A, is learning about matter. Okay, so I'm now asking it to give me a prompt that I can use an ideogram. And what I wanted to do is I want it to be able to create a social media post that I can post on WhatsApp. I can put it on my status. I can put it on my LinkedIn. I can put it on Instagram. I can put anywhere, right? And imagine as a teacher, if you are now able to take this particular post that you have made and you're able to now send that to your principal or send that to your media and communication team. And you want to say, hey, you know what? Ninth standard is actually going to be making ninth standard this week is studying all about matter. And we would love to put some post online. And this is one of the posts that I've made. So if the school has a brand guideline, or if your school has your logo and everything, if you have it, you're able to just put it in and you're able to get your designs absolutely ready. So just wanted to show you. So this is one of the posts that Ideogram has created, whereby you could use your own photograph, you could use your own your own setting, and really, like, it looks so cool. So suddenly you're able to build more hype in your learning. You're able to market what you want to teach kids, and you're able to market that, and you're able to like go to the classroom and be more effective, and kids are going to be like, wow, we have a fun teacher inside our classroom, because when you do things like these, you make things come alive, right? So that is another thing that you can do. Another thing is, like, I can now ask ChatGPT, write a prompt for me that will create a that'll create a let's say a what do you think we can do? Write a prompt for me that will create a worksheet book for this class, for this chapter, and I will use Gemini Storybook for creating it. Give me the prompt. Okay. So what I'm now doing is I'm asking ChatGPT to write a prompt for me that I can now use inside another software called Gemini Storybook. Okay. And I'm asking it to make it like a student worksheet book. So it's going to try and make a workbook for this particular topic that you will be able to instantly download or instantly print and just give it to your kids. Yeah, let's see if that actually happens. And really, like, you're supposed to be reading the prompt, you're supposed to be making corrections to it and things like that. Because this is a demo, I'm just like doing it super fast. But otherwise, you should be like, doing all these things with it, right? So that is something that I wanted to quickly share. Let's see if this thing has happened. It's still writing. And as soon as it finishes writing, we'll go to Gemini and we will paste this in and we will see what's the kind of responses that we are going to get. Okay. So let's check it out. CBSE alignment, formatting instructions. Okay, so I copy it and I go to Gemini, and inside Gemini, you will see gems, and inside gems, you will see Storybook, and inside Storybook, you will copy paste the prompt that you just received. Okay, you copy paste the prompt that you received. And now what you're doing is you are going to wait to see how Gemini has created its storybook. So while this is happening, I want you to start thinking about everything that you saw. I know I went fast and stuff, but think about Nano Banana. Think about something went wrong. Okay, what went wrong here? Let me check. Why did it go? Let me check. What happened here? Let's check what may have gone wrong. Okay, so I'm going back to couldn't load entire chat, try reloading. Gemini, it says ask Gemini. I'm inside Storybook and I hit enter. Okay, it is now trying to make. Let's see if it works. Well, let's hope that it's able to do it and that we're not going to run into errors. But if it's anything more than 10 pages, then generally it comes up with an error. So if that is the case, let's just go and study it and see how does it come through. Yeah, something went wrong. Okay, so let me go through this and make sure that it is okay. Must be designed for this one grade. Okay. Make it every page. Okay. Book title. Okay. Fine. Everything looks okay. Create a worksheet in section 1. Okay. Okay. So I'm saying make the book of 10 pages in any structure you want. Okay. So let's see. Maybe I did that. Let's see if that works. And let me hit this and see if it works now. All right, so we're going back to Gemini. We're going to Storybook and we're pushing this. It's actually, oh yeah, it's actually made the storybook. Here you go. So as a teacher, you were able to make an entire storybook in the form of a worksheet for children. This is the first page. This is the second page, right? So you've now been able to take the concept from from the NCERT textbook, and then you're literally rewriting your textbook like a storybook, right? So here it is. This is what, matter could possibly look like. And yeah, next page, ice and all that, vocabulary, sign language, perfume, everything that we spoke about, different type of particles, um, you know, comparing the three states of water, um, changing the states of water, evaporation and its surface phenomenon, and misconceptions and observations. Yeah. And some questions that kids can use, some practice assessments. Okay. So, yeah, you were able to literally like make a textbook. So you're able to also download this textbook. And once you download it, I'll be able to send it to, yeah, Shama, we can download it. I'll show you. Once we've downloaded it, let me see if I can bring it into if I can send it to you guys. Let me see if actually that comes through. It's downloading. Yes, I got it. I got it. And that workbook or that storybook has been sent to your WhatsApp, to the WhatsApp group that we all are a part of, right? So I hope that you saw that and you thought that was really cool. Having said that, now, the next thing we could do is we could be like, I want to use the LED wall and board in the classroom. Give me a 10-slide deck copy that I can use to make a presentation such that it aligns with my lesson plan and that I can use the presentation to teach this topic and ensure that the flow of the lesson is the same as as the deck and the plan. All right. Have moderate text in it such that if I upload this to Google Classroom, kids will be able to learn what they missed if they were absent today in class. All right. So what I've actually exactly right. Veena is like, kindly share all the prompts in the group. And really, like, you don't need that. You just need to look at how I'm prompting and what I'm thinking and how I'm just talking to AI like AI is an assistant. That's literally what I'm doing, right? So now you have a beautiful 10-slide deck copy. And all you need to do is you need to copy this 10-slide deck. Okay. Copy this 10 slides. Let it come up. Let it come up. And I will then show you copy. Okay. Yeah. And okay. You should be able to see it's come up now. All right. And we now have everything in place. And I'm just going to I'm now just going to copy the slides. Okay. Let me just show you what I'm doing. Okay. Chapter 1. chapter 4, chapter 6, chapter 8, chapter 9, chapter 10, closing line, copy. And now I'm going to go to a software called Gamma. Okay. And inside Gamma, once I'm inside Gamma, I can go to create new with AI. I'm just going to make it bigger. Create new with AI. I click that and I have these four options, which says generate, paste in text, or create from template or input. So I'm going to be like paste in text because I got whatever I want from ChatGPT. So I copied from ChatGPT, I copied it here, put it as presentation. Okay. And here there are three options. It says generate from notes, summarize long text or document, preserve this exact text. So I'm actually going to be doing preserving through extra text. And then I hit continue with the prompt. And now it's actually like made it. Okay. Um, and yeah, cool. So if you're on a free plan, you can do like a total of 10 slides. And these are all the options. So you can select any design you want. Let's assume that we want this design. Okay, we select the theme. We can go to AI images and we can say what kind of AI images you want. So I'm saying like describe your image art style. So let's say that I want graffiti. Okay, graffiti is the image style. Use scenes and scapes from Delhi for this presentation. Okay, that's it. I want it playful. I want it pastel. I want it vibrant. I don't know how it can be vibrant and pastel at the same time. Okay, I'm going to remove vibrant. All right, and I'm going to say, okay, let's assume that the name of my school is in or on every slide. Type the name of the school and say Delhi, Delhi International School. Okay, and hit generate. And the minute we hit generate, you will be able to see that Gamma starts picking up all the text that we created and it starts making the presentation, and it starts making this very beautiful presentation. And this presentation is completely aligned with our lesson plan, with our lesson flow, completely aligned with all the other visual tools that we use, the charts or the flashcards or anything that we use. And we asked it to kind of go graffiti style, and so it's actually made a presentation. So here's the presentation, right? Matter in our surrounding. Topic 1, physical nature of matter. Grade 9 science. So today we begin with the big scientific idea that matter is made of tiny particles. Delhi International School. There you go, right? It's there. So matter in our surroundings, topic 1, teacher talk. So I also put the dialogues here so that, the teacher is able to actually say exactly what she needs to be saying, right? So there's a second slide. This is the third slide. So what's matter, right? It has mass, it occupies space. Love is not matter. Okay, hate is not matter. Ideas don't have matter. The reason they put love, hate, and ideas is because in English we say love matters, right? Or ideas matter, So kids could have misconceptions about what really matters and what doesn't matter from a from a science perspective. So matter is made up of particles. And so here's a key sentence, right? Matter is particulate in nature. Okay, and particles of matter are very small. Okay, so they've got millions of particles, extremely tiny, they're invisible. So very interesting. And you're able to see daily life examples. You're able to see particles of matter continuously moving. You're able to see how they're connected. And really, the misconceptions are also coming through, right? Like what students may think and what science shows. So really, it keeps the whole class excited. It keeps the class thinking. It keeps the class wondering, hey, what's going to come up next, right? So as a teacher, you're kind of creating the scene for kids so that kids really enjoy being in your classroom and they enjoy learning and doing so much better. So I can now go to share, go to export and do an export to PDF, or I could export this file straight away to PowerPoint. And once I export it to PowerPoint, then what's going to happen is that you can then download it and you can do whatever you want to do with it. Or I could export it to Google Slides. And once I have it in Google Slides, then I can just bring it directly into my Google Classroom. And suddenly, instantly you've got this particular content now available with all the children who are inside your class, inside your Google Classroom or any other software that you're using. You're also able to put that straight into LinkedIn, which means that yesterday I showed you how you can make a bot, which allows you to create um, a post for LinkedIn. You can now take that post and create a 10-slide presentation, and then you're able to post this directly to LinkedIn as a document that you have created. And that also is like some sort of desktop publishing, and that could be really, really interesting. Not only this, you can also publish this to a website. So just by pressing this button from share, if I press the button saying publish to website, it'll ask me, what do you want to do? Do you want to convert it to a website or you want to add to a page? So I'm now saying publish it to a website, and instantly it's going to take this entire presentation and it has now made this presentation into a website. So I'm now just going to send you that instantly so you are able to access the website and you're able to see how we created a website for this, and that is like super super exciting. And not just that, right? You're able to then even once you send out the website link, you're able to go to the link and you're able to look at analytics. And that analytics is going to tell us if anyone has come to the page, if anyone has seen it, on what slide they are. So, who spent how much time in what slide when they're reading it, and things like that. So Willie Broad today read it at 5:47 and cards viewed. So if you're a sales guy, if you're into sales and marketing and you've created like a 10-slide presentation with your proposal and you send this out to a client, you're able to see using analytics at what slide did your client kind of stop, and is he looking at a particular slide, or did they even go to the slide, or all these things allows you to just beautifully get information about how anybody is using this content. So as a teacher, knowing how your kids are using it, which page they are on, what's hooking their attention, or at what point are they losing attention, I think is very, very interesting and can really, really help children. So this is something that I wanted to show you. And I hope that you found this also very interesting. In the meanwhile, let me quickly download this and send it to the group so that you can also see it in the WhatsApp group, right? And that is something that will be exciting. And now the last software that I want to show you for today is a software called Napkin. And Napkin is absolutely stunning. All you need to do is go to a software called Napkin, Napkin.in. NAP, Shama, all you need to do is once you've published your Gamma, you go to view analytics. And when you go to view analytics, you'll actually be able to see everything that um, everything that you put in. Okay. And let's see. So now we are in a new software called Napkin. And Napkin allows me to create textbooks. So here's the here is the three options. Do you want to paste text, describe idea, or import a file? I'm saying paste text. So I go back to my my ChatGPT and say, I want to make a student handout with diagrams and flows and visual learning, learning and visual learning routines. So make text for me that supports such diagrams and flows and graphic organizers. Keep it to 2 pages only. So I've now asked ChatGPT saying that I want to make a student handout because I taught this in the class right now. And now I want to give something to these kids, but I want to make it more visual. And I want to show them the metacognition bit, the thinking about it, the processes, the steps, right? So I said, I want to show diagrams, I want to show flows, I want to show visual learning routines. So I want you to make the text that supports diagrams and flows and graphic organizers and try and keep it to 2 pages itself. So here is it, student handout, matter in our surroundings. I'm copying it now. Page 1, page 2, I'm copying it. Okay. And within 5 minutes, we're going to make like, a handout. If you're a marketing guy, if you're a sales guy, if you're a manager, you can make handouts for so many things, right? You can make proposals, you can make all kinds of things. So I copied it here and I've now gone to Napkin and I've literally pasted my content here. Okay. That's all I did. There you go. Okay. And the minute I got my content here, I am now breaking it down. See, big question. 1, what is matter, right? Then 3, matter is made up of particles, right? Then another thing. Then this is the 5th section and the 6th section. Okay. And there's a quick summary and there's page 2 and there's a 6th section and the 7th section and the 8th section and the 9th section and the 10th section and the 11th section. Okay. So now all I need to do is press the big blue lightning button and it's going to say, hey, this could be like a good example. This could be like a good diagram that you want to show here. Okay. And what is matter? I click that and there's another diagram that pops up. Okay. It could be like this. Yeah. What is matter? It reads it, gives me examples. I can then select it and then I can just put it in. Now, matter is made up of particles. I selected this. It's going to read it. It's going to try and make a diagram out of it. It's now made a diagram out of it. I've selected how I want the diagram to look like. Now, particles of matter are very small. Okay, so it's now kind of studying it and it's making another diagram. And I've selected the diagram and this is what it looks like. Okay. Particles of matter are continuously moving. So it's studying it again. And now it's making a diagram like the way I want it. So the science of smell, how does it happen? So the main characteristics of particles of matter. So I'm able to select this. It's going to pick up and it's going to give me 4 boxes. And literally I can just select this and here you go. I've got my graphic organizer. So if you're able to see instantly, in a matter of minutes, you're able to literally create a very beautiful set of infographics, textbooks, or um, or graphic organizers that totally make sense so that kids are able to see and understand the concept. So I hope that this kind of makes sense. You're able to export this PDF. Yeah, I can make it as A4 or single continuous page. And now you should be able to see it in the WhatsApp group that we have made a new textbook here, and I've now sent it to you. Yes, so that brings us to the end of today's, Rohi, you can also use that to make flowcharts, right? It's pretty simple. You can make flowcharts in Nano Banana, you can make flowcharts in Ideogram, you can make flowcharts in Napkin. You can also make flowcharts in Gamma. You just have to ask it to make it, and it's going to be able to make it for you. So that's what we did today. Like today, we did so many tools. We did ChatGPT and how to get ChatGPT to give you the prompts that you need to get your other modalities running, such as the image generation tools. And then we did Gamma to create all your slides, to convert your slides into a website. Then we use Napkin to take your content from ChatGPT and then make that into a textbook, make that into a handout, make that into, a process document. Then we used Nano Banana to try and create beautiful posters, things that you can take and go into the classroom, something that supports your learning. And then we did Ideogram so that you're able to create social media posts, you're able to create posters, you're able to create things like this that really that can help support your learning. And then also we did Gemini Storybook Gems, which allows you to create storybooks, which could be highly personalized and which could be very topic led and aligned to what you're trying to do. So so many things that we did today. So I hope that you all had fun. I hope you learned something new. And I'm always there on the WhatsApp group. So ask any questions you have there. And until next time, folks, I'm going to see you tomorrow. Over to Sar and Aditi. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. And thank you everyone for your active participation in today's session. We hope today's discussion has inspired you to explore how visual tools and AI can make teaching more engaging and impactful. So we look forward to seeing you in our upcoming session as we continue exploring how AI can support educators and transform learning experiences. Thank you once again for being such an engaged and wonderful audience. Have a great evening and see you tomorrow for another session.